It started small. There was an eerie column of smoke, then just no time left to think. "5 days, 3 evacuations, 125,000 acres." That fire, whatever's burning down around us, it's out there, outside of us. But the fear's not. The fear is within. Nature gave me the space to work through it. It brought me home to my power, beyond everything that felt lost. I drove out fast, dog in the back, the cat, bags of clothes, and keepsakes shoved in. My husband stayed behind, grabbing tools, papers, whatever he could. Half a mile down the road, the flames were about to jump the river toward our only way out. I kept checking my phone, dropping it over and over with shaky hands, but nothing. Then I saw his truck. We were both out. We spent 2 nights with friends, then 3 more days of running. 2 more evacuations, hauling what little we had from one borrowed spot to the next. Between 3 separate wildfires, nowhere stayed safe for more than a day. No sleep, just motion, checking maps, listening to fire updates, jumping at any sign of new smoke. The fear was relentless, demanding action. I couldn't freeze, and I couldn't get away. It felt like the fires were closing in. I was exhausted. The first stillness I found was only after we returned to the place where my fear was the loudest. Our home, spared, in a tiny pocket of river valley in the very center of a vast, charred landscape around it. The flames still active just beyond the fire lines. I'd step outside in the mornings, see the river still flowing, birds still calling, deer resting in the shade of our trees, like nothing had changed. But everything had. The sunsets resembled dragon fire, choked on the smoky air, the flames still visible just a few hundred yards away. Fear had carved a space for itself that I didn't yet know how to heal. But eventually, it would be my road to empowerment. Looking back, my exhaustion was a gift. It forced me to sit with fear, to let it linger without trying to change it. I didn't have the energy to do anything else. I had finally stopped running, and something changed. I didn't see it then, wouldn't for months. But something lit up, took hold inside. My own quiet flame. The fear didn't vanish, it stayed. I just stopped looking away. It took time, almost a year, before a campfire felt safe, or to hear thunder without dread. But slowly, it faded, and fear began to whisper instead of threaten. Nature gave me the space to work through it, steady, patient. On a riverbank untouched by flames, I watched birds on the water. Baby dippers, just hatched, scurried along the sand next to me, and I felt hope, a reminder to breathe. I'd sit there for hours sometimes, the water's edge a line I could hold on to, fear beside me, becoming a quiet companion. The water, something I could touch, softened it. Fire and water, these elements, transform whatever they touch in large or small ways, quickly or slowly, together helping me find new balance. When I sat with it in this way, fear started to call to me, asking me to follow, to come closer again. I started walking alone through the woods, away from the river, not to prove anything. It was a choice to engage, to see how closely I could approach things that still scared me in this environment which I had so much love for and held so much terror all at once. You see, you can choose to be with fear, to live alongside it. Learn how it helps you grow and heal by leaning onto it. It offers something unknown and splendid on the other side. Your own agency, empowerment, choosing from a place of stillness, the hard work of personal sovereignty, your own next move. There's so much to unravel. It's in the beautiful. It creates its own kind of beauty. It asks us to decide right now what we will do. It's easy and quib to speak of fear as a liar, as an obstacle to be overcome. It's another thing altogether to welcome it with eyes wide open and then just look at each other. Standing still is often what's called for. And that is a true and deep source of power, real strength. Fear isn't the enemy. It can be a guide if you let it, when you stop turning away. That fire, whatever's burning down around us, it's out there, outside of us. But the fear's not. The fear is within. Working with it starts with a choice. Pick something small, something yours, not overwhelming. For me, it was stepping back into the woods after the fires. Not reckless, just deliberate. Collecting morels from the burn scars the next spring. In winter, boots crunching snow as I walked alone, not to escape, but to face what lingered within. No one else needs to know what you're working out. It was just me and the trees, and the silence. Fear settling into something I could hold and contain without it taking over. It's not about rushing in. You don't have to chase it down. Start gently, small. A fear you've dodged, a moment you've turned from. It might be a word you need to say, a step you've delayed taking. Sit with it, eyes wide open, no distractions. Listen. Feel into the challenge, the discomfort. That's what sparks your inner power to grow, not in doing battle, but in the space you give it. I'd ask myself, why this? Why now? And the answer didn't matter. Just staying there did, letting the fear shift from a burden to a whisper. Then decide. I'll look at this. I'll stay here. I'll choose to be uncomfortable. That's where strength begins, not in force, but in the steady yes you give yourself to approach and stay with what scares you. Not to flood yourself with fear, not to learn to ignore it or make it go away, but to learn how to choose your next step yourself, clear-headed, to make space for your power also. Let's face it, some things are terrible, and you have to flee, like I did. If you start working with your fear in this way now, you don't have to allow it in the face of danger to take you over. You will control you, listening to fear all the while. This world can be hard, but you are here, free to decide. Say yes to something hard. Choose your fear, even if no one knows. Let it teach you what's yours, to grow what's already there. Your strength, your will, steady and real. Fire forced me through fear, and what came after changed me. It kindled something fierce, a strength I didn't know I had. Now I wander the woods, mostly alone, watching the habits of bears, elk, and moose. Walking past claw-marked tree trunks, checking trail cameras. Each step deliberate, mine. Those fires turned my fear into fuel, not to consume me, but to forge me. It brought me home to my power, beyond everything that felt lost. Your fear is waiting. What will you choose? It'll help you find your strength too. What's your story of facing fear? What will you say yes to? If this resonated, stay. We'll explore more ways nature helps us discover who we can be.